All right, hello everyone, and welcome to some show. We're ready to go, and I know that maybe it might snow, and that Ranger likes an occasional cup of Joe.
Should have been hose.
Maybe a hoe. But
some blow.
Maybe some blow. I like to sniff some blow. So I hope everybody's doing okay. We didn't have a show last week. I was away on a road trip with my son to Maine, actually. I was gone for the weekend, and I didn't get back until about 5 o'clock in the morning, so that wouldn't have worked for everyone, obviously. And then, listen, people are busy during the week. We didn't really have time to get back together, so wanted to talk now. Obviously, we've got a lot to discuss. Maurice is with us. He's just not on screen tonight. He's having some technical difficulties with his camera. But what's going on, Maurice? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? And we're also joined by the lovely Avinash. How you doing?
Hello.
And Ranger,
glad to be here.
Oh, absolutely. And also by Ranger J1999 that you heard a few moments ago. What's going on, Ranger?
Yes, I'm a viable option.
He's a viable option. Viable alternative. Okay, let's get right into it. A lot of stuff happening. First and foremost, Jedi Luke, okay, is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Return of the Jedi Luke has been confirmed. Now, we did get a teaser, sort of a clue, that led to us getting some sort of an image with Luke and Palpatine and Vader in the throne room, and then we actually got another piece, which was a trailer video showing, Dagobah. And I'm not going to play that right now because, copyright strike. But I will, however, put a link to the video in the description if you guys haven't seen that already. I'm sure you have. But basically, just a trailer, a couple seconds, I think it's 30 seconds, like showing us, again, the confrontation between Vader and Luke in the Death Star. So I'm assuming we're going to get that and some sort of maybe possibly a hero's journey, as was mentioned earlier here in the chat. So a lot of stuff to dive into here. What are your guys' thoughts about Jedi Luke finally coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes now, of all times? The floor is open.
Well, it's gonna be it's time for the next thing. They've been promised us. They've been saying we're gonna work in the back end. We're gonna work in the back end. A lot of people think that Luke is the end of the game. There's a lot of that chatter going around, but then there's a lot of chatter. A lot of guys on the Jedi Academy yesterday were kind of talking about this, like thinking it's going to shepherd in the new kind of era. They're working on this back end that they've been doing, and they've got this Luke character, hopefully bring some new people into the game. They've said that the raid is on hold, but they're working on like a new style event that's engaging for the whole community. This could be a turning point. I think a lot hinges on the announcement they're going to make Monday. Any sort of road ahead when they finally decide they want to give us that. I think a lot is going to hinge on that. It's been an interesting week in Galaxy of Heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So
you guys let me know if the sound's okay. I know Maurice is coming in a little low on my end, so I'm upping the volume on the mixer here. If he's a little too low, just let me know in the chat. But what are your thoughts, Avi and Ranger?
Well, I mean, it's a little, for me, everybody knows we've talked about it ad nauseum this week about what happened with Arnold, and then, in one part of me, there's different parts I feel like. In one part of me, I'm like, yay, Jedi Luke, we've been wanting him forever. And then the other parts of me like, yeah, but they also said that might be an end game kind of character coming in, so I'm torn there. And then it just seems like they're just tonally death. To like,
oh no,
what?
Oh,
okay. It dropped for a second, then it dropped, then it raised again, then it dropped again, and I don't know. It's kind of hovering in a really scary spot right now. Ugh, really? Okay, now it's going back up again. Now it's back down. This is like crazy. What's going on with the internet tonight? It's like 270 KB, 0. That definitely killed the stream right there. Occasionally has like a little spike back up. I don't know if anybody is it even live anymore? Is there anybody even on the stream anymore? Okay, now it's going back up to normal again. Okay, it looks like we're back. I hope it didn't start a second stream again like last time. I don't know. I guess I just I have some budget internet. I guess not. I guess my 1000 Mbps internet service isn't good enough. Yeah, I don't know what happened, Finity. This has been going on like the last couple of streams. It's not good. Anyway, what were you saying?
Well, I mean, it just seems a little tone deaf. I mean, so regardless of how you feel about Arnold or not, the issue was brought up, right? And what he said. Now, I'm with Arnold and on what he said, but some people are not. But regardless of that fact, the fact that they didn't address it, pretend like it didn't happen, pretending like, it's business as usual, like there weren't concerns in the community. But, I mean, nor was anybody surprised. But I really thought for once they might, I don't know, pull their heads out their ass. But no, they just demonstrated that, the best option is like, rather, just pretend it doesn't exist and maybe it'll go away. And I just find that sad, and it's just really sad. And you know, they think like they think we're stupid, man. Like, am I excited about Jedi Luke coming in? Of course, it's Jedi freaking Luke. Like, who wouldn't be? But then on the other hand, it's like, do you think I'm that stupid to fall for it? I don't care if it was planned ahead of time or whatnot, but I mean, you know,
I just find it funny that it just seems to be coming out right now to kind of, I feel like it's kind of covering up other things that's going on in the background. With Jedi Luke, I remember even a couple of years ago, or even longer, that we were talking about that, you know, that if they brought in Jedi Luke, then it was towards the end of the game, because that was kind of like the last iconic character at that time. And of course, now, you know, we've gotten a lot more characters than what we had a couple of years ago. Jedi Luke is actually not the last character. I think they're just going to keep expanding it even more, and maybe redirect, you know, the whole Vader Luke into other aspects and be able to continue on. And like you said, maybe start a new era in the Star Wars game and with the characters and such. But at the same time, I mean, the iconic characters are Vader and Luke. I mean, you can't dispute that at all. I mean, that's what their saga started, and that's where this saga ended with. So, but at the same time, Jedi Luke might be the Luke that we want. Of course, there's old fart Luke, there's ghost Luke, there's, you know, whatever Lukes are out there still that they could put out.
There's Luke as a viable option, Luke.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's again, I mean, there's good things and there's bad things this week. I think the bad really outweighed the good. I mean, and are you excited about Luke? Of course. I mean, come on, Christ.
I am, but not very much. Not really, not much at all.
I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, I almost crapped my pants. Okay, but I mean, you know, honestly, you know,
I'm ambivalent.
I was like, no way, they're really doing. It just, I was such a shock, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about here. I mean, yes, we're gonna dive into the ALLIDNCE T101 thing for sure. Like, we'll get into all that, and we'll talk about our thoughts about that. But I understand, like, you guys think that, like, this is in response to that, and honestly, I don't think that they do stuff like that. I think that they're thinking. My stream is still lagging out. It seems like it's good now. I'm not having any problem. That's your internet this time. But as far as that goes, I don't know. I mean, it's. I feel like the timing now is not a direct response to, like, banning ALLIDNCE T101's account. I know that that's just coincidental, but I don't think that they care that much about EA, and they are not afraid of negative feedback. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Oh, I think they are. Absolutely, they are.
I mean, they got bombarded about Anthem and Battlefront and so many other things, and they just don't. They never retract they never say they made a mistake. They never
no, they don't.
They don't. Never going to admit
if you're saying they don't care, then you got my vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't respond. It's one of the worst companies about responding. You know, it's about anything, unless it's, you know, we'll put out the stuff. I mean, it was cool to see the puzzle and stuff. I mean, I can give CG props when they do something cool. I was glad to see the puzzles and stuff again. But to ignore the Arnold issue completely, not say anything about it, you know, just in general terms, But
do you think that they even did that to him on purpose? Like, they knew that it was his account and that's why they banned. I mean, do you think it wasn't just some random stooge over at CG that was just like, this account's cheating, and they just banned it? Do you think it's even somebody that watches YouTube? I mean, I just, what I'm saying is,
I honestly think it's there was a compilation of circumstances. There was a compilation of circumstances that I think that put it all together. I have no idea what their thinking was, or I don't even know totally what is really going on both sides. But the fact is that there was just a lot of circumstances put together, and so they felt that it needed to be banned. But then again, you know, what they should do, if that's the case, is just, you know, ban everybody else in that situation.
What's the inconsistency? And I don't know for sure, right? But I mean, it just looks bad. It just looks really bad. He gave
They
him
pick and
2
choose.
weeks. Yeah, there's pick and choose. You know, the cheating aspect of it. It's the hypocrisy, right? So, you know, you look at it and it just looks stupid, and they look stupid, and they look ignorant. You know, I mean, I don't care if the left hand doesn't know what the right is, then learn to get your goddamn company better communications. But then they suck at communications, period. You know, without a doubt.
I don't think they banned it knowing it was Arnold T101's account. I don't think it was malicious. I think it's just a coincidence, and I don't believe it. I mean, maybe he reached out to somebody over there. All I know is that if this was like a couple years ago and we reached out to DHSE, this would have been resolved in 10 seconds. It's just because now they've kind of severed their relationship with the Game Changers, right? And so now they don't really owe us anything. But I mean, I can't imagine that it would make smart business sense for a company to ban an account of probably the biggest content creator for the game. Period. It doesn't make any sense. Like, somebody up the top would have said, "Don't do that." You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like I feel like they probably maybe they just didn't know about it at first, and now they can't just go back on it and just say, "Oh, well, my bad." And
Well, then say we didn't know, we made a mistake, something. They haven't said anything. So, and I don't give CG any credit. They're a bunch of liars. They're never honest. You know, they're inconsistent. They don't communicate with us. So I don't give CG the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, CG is the biggest problem. It's EA is a problem, but CG is the biggest problem. CG always hated the Game Changer program. They always hated it, and they could not wait to get rid of it. But the other problem is that these guys also have, you know, the Game Changers also had like test accounts and stuff. If the content creators had the test accounts that they can actually test stuff and do things and be able to relay it back to the audience, this would never have happened.
Right, but you guys are forgetting that Arnold brought forth an account that was breaking terms of service directly to EA and said fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
Arnold's
Yes.
account and the cheating have nothing to do with one another.
Absolutely, absolutely they
do.
do. Did Arnold break terms of service? Yes. Should his account be banned based off terms of service? Yes. Have they done it for anybody else? Not that I've ever heard of. No. Are they inconsistent with cheaters and other people that we have other instances of where they're negotiating with them? They'll negotiate with them. See, this is where it comes in. It's not the argument is not for TOS. Did he break it? Yes. Have they done it to anybody else? Not that I know of or heard of or even thought about. I do know about some of the other stuff that's going on with the crystal manipulation and the cheating and other things like that. They'll talk to people like that, yet they can't seem to find the time to talk to Arnold and say, hey, we kind of noticed this or something. They had 2 weeks, didn't say a word. The only conversation that was had was, here you go. Now, that's hypocrisy. Now, you can say that Arnold should, if you want to use the TOS and say that, but then you're applying the TOS differently to different people. And that's what really chaps people's ass, especially when it comes down to the cheater stuff. You know, no one arguing TOS. Are we gone again?
We're having problems again, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also add the Wi-Fi as well, because it seems to give it at least a backup in the event this occurs. I don't know how that works if I have both Wi-Fi and the other one going at the same time, but that seems to have fixed it here. So, yeah. All right. So now we're back. Sorry, guys. Again, you know, we had a little bit. You know, I don't know what's going on with the internet. I'm gonna have to do a double check again this week. You know, I have a wired connection. I have Wi-Fi connection. I have 5G. I have gigabit internet service here. So I really don't understand why this should be occurring. But anyway, just going back to what they were saying. Okay. Yes. I understand the reason for his banning. I understand all that, and I understand. I just feel like. I don't think that everything is as cut and dry as it seems. I think there's more than meets the eye with all this stuff. And I also think that at the end of the day, I don't believe that they're trying to do anything malicious. I mean, again, I do believe that maybe somebody got, you know, something brought their way and then they decided to do this. But I mean, I just feel like that had to be like just like they had to do the right thing kind of thing when they're not allowed to turn a blind eye to something. That's all I can imagine. But I mean, again, I don't know all the specifics. I don't know whether, you know, the head of the studio decided to shut that down. You know, I can't imagine that Crumb and that you know, that Top Hat and all them knew about this, and they were like, yeah, ban Arnold's account. Like, I mean, I just can't imagine that there's a bunch of
maliciousness, but the maliciousness comes from other points about them being malicious toward the game changers and some of the crap that they pull. So can CG be malicious? You're damn right they can be. But the underhanded crap that they pulled with the game changers in regards to Mobile Strike Force, the promises that were made that were broken, and then immediately the taking away of the game changers, the taking away of the test accounts with no explanation whatsoever. You're damn right CGB can be malicious. Again, they never talk about it. They don't discuss this stuff. They don't communicate. I can just look at their actions. On everything else, I'll make my own conclusions, and it makes CG look, again, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous on all accounts. I mean, they just, you know, the evidence is stacked against them in so much ways. And so if they had been communicating and maybe there was a misunderstanding and there had been other things like that, then I could maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. They get no benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. So just to kind of give some perspective on the Game Changer program and what their thought process was on Jedi Luke. Okay, so the reason that's circled around is because when we met with them a long time ago at EA Play, they were telling us about territory battles, and they brought us into a room to disclose, like, you know, embargoed information. And we sat down with CG Not a Jedi and a bunch of other developers there, and they told us that that part of the reason that Jedi Luke wasn't in the game was because they thought that would signal to the rest of the community that the game was coming to an end, right? So they decided, not because for their end, like to them it would seem that way, or that they actually were intending on ending the game. But they were just afraid that people would have that assumption that once Luke drops in the game, that there's nothing else left to drop after that. So that's part of the reason, for sure, that they held off on doing it for so long. I don't know that necessarily means that they believe that the game is over, though. I think that they're just... I think that they just have to get this out of the way. There's lots of other stuff to work on. They have a whole bunch of new content that's coming out. They said that they were going to be releasing some stuff from like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi anyway at some point this year, right? Didn't they mention that like at the end of last year they were going to the original trilogy, the OT? So I mean, you know, I think that we kind of knew that this was coming at some point here. I just didn't expect it so soon. And to me, we were discussing this briefly before the stream. What does that mean for all of us that are working on Galactic Legend Kylo and Galactic Legend Rey? I can't imagine, whether he's a Hero's Journey character or a Galactic Legend, that they're going to release this version of Luke in the game, the most badass, most awesome version of Luke that we've been waiting for 5 years, and everybody's been asking about every other day, and he's not going to be the most OP character, period. Like, he has to drop and be immediately #1 in the arena. Right? So unless he's like a raid character that we get slowly over time, or he is like that might be it. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's a raid character, and we're going to get him slowly over time. And you know, it's, you know, Rey and Kylo are going to have their time in the sun, and then by that time, by the first time somebody has a 7-star Jedi Luke, it's going to be a year from now. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the deal. You know, and if that's the case, that's okay. But if they don't do that, if like they drop Luke in a month in some sort of event that you have to have a bunch of characters for, why do that so close to the dropping of 2 mega OP characters? It doesn't make any sense. You know, it's, I mean, like, literally, I don't even have Galactic Legend Kylo yet. I'm sitting here getting those pieces together, and I'm wondering to myself now, like, should I just save my resources for Luke? You know, and I'm sure there's other people thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are people thinking of the same thing, and I'm like, no, because right now in the guild, you know, in a lot of guilds, you know, we need what is out there now, not what in the future. You know, it's come to a point where there's so much money, so much everything going into these Galactic Legends, that a lot of other tunes and characters are being pushed to the side that are actually really, really needed. And then people are saying, oh, now I'm going to stop doing this, or I'm going to not do this in the first place. And now I'm going to save for Jedi Luke. That's might be good for you, but it's certainly not good for, maybe the guild that you're in. So it's really frustrating because they're stretching everybody so thin that it's hard to figure out which way to go anymore.
Well, it's been hard to figure out which way to go for a long time. I mean, they've kind of been throwing us, not so much, I would say useful information to kind of, be able to determine which route to go for quite some time. I mean, they are giving us hints at things, but I mean, man, like I said, obviously I want Luke. Okay, Luke is probably one of the few characters I'm willing to shell out money for. Okay, and what I'm saying is now that makes me rethink my whole thing. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking and I'm sure, like I said, and I'm sure there's lots of other people just thinking, okay, I'm about to plug a whole bunch of resources into my Resistance. I'm about to plug a whole bunch of resources into my First Order. And Luke, the character that I really want, that's been, teased for 4 years, is finally coming. We just got a trailer. I doubt they're going to release a trailer for Luke a year before they drop him, right? He's coming out sometime in the next 60 days, right? So what does that mean? Does that mean,
well, Finity says it is, end of the quarter. It's business. The last couple months have been bad, with COVID and everything like that. I mean, they did say that they were going to announce that there was a new character coming. So we kind of knew this was happening. But it makes sense. End of the quarter. I mean, they got people to answer to and stuff. The company's up making money. But if you look at the video, the downvotes for that video, man, holy crap!
Oh my God, I saw that. Oh my God!
If that doesn't tell you something, so.
Well, the downvotes for the video are because of ONLT101. Those are probably 8,000 of his subscribers.
No, I think it's a catalyst for everything, right? It's built up. I think Arnold's thing was the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, and then it just flooded everything, right?
But people know that this is coming out just after the Galactic Legends.
Well, Minato,
here we have.
Backtrack for a second. Minato, I will spend money on anything that I want. Okay, so if I feel like it's time to become a whale again for Jedi Luke, I'll do that. Okay, but again, I'm not stupid now. I'm not just gonna suddenly start spending money on one character if it's thousands of dollars. But yes, I mean, there's other things I like to work on, mods and things like that for sure. But there's characters that I have been waiting for. I mean, when Jedi Revan came out and when Darth Revan came out, I knew for a fact that there was no way I was not going to have these characters. I had to buy them. You know what I mean? So I spent money for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably, if Jedi Luke drops, realistically, they can have my wallet. Okay, I'm probably gonna buy Jedi Luke. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm stupid. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I've been playing this game for 5 years. It's kind of sentimental. Certain things I've been wanting to have for a long time, like Jedi Luke. I mean, I can't imagine not being a part of that opening day, right? Second he drops, not wanting to make that live stream with you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's.
Well, he was kind of digging at you for your mods, so.
No, I know. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you, Abby. Continue what you were saying.
Oh, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I totally lost my train of thought at this point because I was so focused on what you were saying there.
We were talking about ONLT101, and we were talking about the.
Oh yeah, I think that was like you said, that it was a straw that broke the camel's back, and it was just at a time where people are just pissed off about stuff, and now this comes out, and it's right on the heels of the Galactic Legends, to which so many people are working on so hard to get, and they're hoarding gear. And here is another character, an iconic character, coming out that they're just going to have to, there's just nothing left. I finally got my Kylo done, and I have no gear left. There is no resources left.
Well,
So
we'll know tomorrow. They're going to announce it tomorrow, and we'll see what's going to be required. If he's going to be a Galactic Legend or a Hero's Journey, and what his kit's going to be. They said there was going to be the drop on Monday and stuff. So we'll get more information tomorrow. Before, I mean,
yeah,
it's sad. I mean, I wish under better circumstances Jedi Luke was coming into the game, because we've all wanted Jedi Luke, but
hmm
I can't ignore this over here and then just put this out over here. It's just a damn shame, and it drives me nuts about CG. Basic communication 101. They can't do this. It's either they're incompetent, and I don't think they're incompetent, because there's a lot of really bright and intelligent people over there. Then it's intentional. That's when I get angry. So when I feel like something's intentional and they're doing stuff and ignoring other stuff, it pisses me off. And I can't put it in any other category. And then when it affects the community and affects people that I care about, then I'm going to step up and say what I got to say. But it's all in the past. It's happened. So we move on from it. We'll see what happens from it. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that people are stopping to spend. I don't know what's going to take for CG to change their attitude or stuff. I don't know if everything that everybody's doing right now is going to have any effect. All you can do is try, and see what happens.
Yeah, and I think too, and I was going to comment on the downvotes, is that people want new content. They don't want a new character right now.
Yeah, I agree.
They want new character. They want new content and actual content, not just a rehash.
On Monday, when they announced that there is actually a new content, a new way to get Jedi Luke, all these people that just jump to conclusions. I'm not saying you guys, but I'm saying, like, they said a new engaging game mode is coming to the game, right? They've made lots of promises. I understand that. But if it's a new engaging game mode, like somebody yesterday on the Jedi Academy suggested, like a tower sort of scheme, like a progressive, like leveled tower. That is something that's realistic in a ton of other games. Like if you get 3 tickets every day, you get to do 3 levels of like 100 level tower, and every level might award Jedi Luke shards. Like that, we don't know what it's going to be. We're assuming it's a hero's journey. It could be new content. Like we don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. A lot of this, and I led yesterday at Jedi Academy a little aggressive. It's a lot of people are upset. Like you guys on the panel here, there's a difference between passionate and dramatic, right? And you guys are passionate. You guys are passionate about your feelings, and you care about the community. And then some of the other stuff that's going around is just very dramatic, right? It's dramatic, and I'm worried that people are doing these boycotts and spreading all this negativity and getting on board with all this stuff for the wrong reasons. Like they're just doing it because they're bored, and that is a direct reflection of there not being any content in the game. So if there was a new game mode, if we had a new raid right now, all this stuff would not be nearly the issue that it is. I don't think the cheating is an issue. Arnold's account, I love the guy, but that's not the issue here. Arnold's banned account is not the issue.
No,
it's just the cheating is the issue. Yeah, I personally would like to see some more, just one screenshot of one message is semi-damning, but we don't know the context of that. We haven't seen any other follow-up messages. We haven't had any interviews with anybody that's directly been messaged like this. With all these people coming out, with all the hate of CG now, if these messages were a common thing, I feel like somebody at some point that's had contact like this would come out and speak against CG, right? Like we have one screenshot that we're basing so much stuff on.
Well, I'm basing this also what happened with what's his name from Shadowlands. I don't think it's Rambam, but the other guy that was with Cub Stream.
Bulldog got in trouble too.
Well, Bulldog, but I'm talking about, he talked about this on the Cub Stream about all the people in his alliance that got caught with the Crystal scandal, and talked about this exact same thing going on with them. Where they were able to negotiate and get certain bans and things like that. And he was reiterating his experience with his players and stuff like this. So, and different players got different punishments and all this other stuff. And it's just inconsistent. It just really is. What's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. You know what I'm saying? And I worry that, if you show favoritism to some, you have to show it to all. I don't care how much someone spent on the game. If your integrity is shot as anybody, right?
Right.
It's gone. You can't get it back.
It's not just favoritism, okay? And this is something that I'm just going to address what Blue Thunder Ryan said here in the chat. It's that he doesn't. Nobody speaks for him, and nobody should expect special access. You're right. I mean, listen, everybody should
I know. I'm not one game. Well, of course, I've never been game.
Nobody should expect special access, but just speaking from perspective of somebody who did go to the studio many times, and we did come up with an agreement with them. Okay, it was a friendly handshake type thing. It wasn't really something. We did have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and stuff, but what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, there should be some level of respect there for all the time that was put in. I don't care about the technicalities, okay? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you have a guy who's helped make you a lot of money, okay, over the years. He's promoted the game. And Arnold T101, Chris, I'll tell you right now, I know him personally. He's a very good guy, okay? He's not the type of guy that would do anything shady or underhanded. He would reach out directly to the studio and ask them a question. He would always do what he thought was right. Okay, and I would vouch for that anytime. Like, I'm sure that he would never do something that he thought was cheating or negative or anything like that. He would do it legit every step of the way. So as far as I'm concerned, we had test accounts, we had situations set up so we could make content for people. And that's really all he cares about. It's not about the, winning the game or getting extra rewards or beating anybody or pride or anything like that as far as it's concerned for him. He just wants the content and the characters and his account so that he can make videos for you guys, for everybody. So it's at the end of the day, it's like I understand that there is also a financial aspect to that. Getting the characters means he can make more videos, means he can make more money too. That's another way to look at it. But I don't think that it's I don't think it's anything selfish. I think that at the end of the day, he's just trying to create videos for his viewers. And we were promised certain things, like we were told not to cover other games, we were told not to do certain things, and we played by those rules. And then eventually they were just like, yeah, we're still just going to take our accounts back and see you guys later. And that's what ended up happening. For somebody, if you're in YouTube and you know how this thing works, okay, if you skip out on a game when it first drops and then now you try to pick it up 2 years later, you're way behind the 8 ball. So if you skip out on Marvel Strike Force because somebody told you please don't do that, and then now 2 years later there's a whole bunch of other YouTubers that cover that game and they have an established community already that watches them about that game, it's very difficult to then just dive in and start getting to the top of the charts there, like you could have if you had just started out dropped. But again, because of our relationship with the studio, you make a decision. Does it make sense for me to possibly burn a bridge with EA, Electronic Arts, to cover some other game? You have to make that decision. I did, okay, and I decided to go with EA, and at the end of the day, I mean, Maurice and I used to have a live stream about Marvel Strike Force. We did it like 4 times until we were literally asked not to do it anymore. Okay, and then we didn't cover it. And then what ends up happening, I was told I'd get like an in-game promo where I would get my a video of mine or a live stream of mine to pop up in-game for cutting out Marvel Strike Force. I had to cut it out for at least 4 weeks, so for a month, no more videos. I did that. And then, is the stream down? Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
We're back again. Yeah, it cut out again for a second. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we were told to stop covering the game for 4 weeks, and then I'd get an opportunity to get an in-game promotion. And there were other people that have been in the program for much less time than I have. The guys like what was that guy's name that got an in-game promo, Maurice? He doesn't even make videos anymore.
Oh, I don't. I remember his logo, but I don't remember his offhand.
Yeah, I remember his name. Okay, he was a nice guy. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I've been a game changer for 4 years, and he gave this guy an in-game promo before me. Then I cut out Marvel Strike Force like he asked me to, and then I never got it. Okay, it was just a lie. Okay, so it happens. So I mean, I understand being a little salty about being promised things and then having them taken away or whatever, because again, it happened to me, and at the end of the day, I'm overall upset about my decision. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Marvel Strike Force as it is. I don't love the game so much that I regret not covering it. I was only covering it mainly because, you know, it's very similar to Galaxy of Heroes, and lots of the people that play Galaxy of Heroes, my people that watch my videos like Marvel Strike Force 2, so I thought it'd be a natural transition. But, you know, I like playing Power Rangers a lot more than Marvel Strike Force, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I didn't start covering it, and like I felt like committed to it, and I started spending money on it. But at the end of the day, I could have done that if I wanted to, and I could have been somebody who started out at the get-go in that game. Me and Maurice could have been streaming Marvel Strike Force now for 2 years. You know, we could have like...
I don't think I would have made it too long. I don't think.
Maybe
it's
not.
A good game. It's just, I personally don't have time to play multiple games like this. You know, because me, the way I am, I have to, like, if I get, like, Star Wars, I play it, I feel pretty competitive. I can't just, like, casually play a game like this. Doesn't mean I have to spend money or anything. I spend a lot of time on it. I spend a lot of time tweaking mods and trying to make teams perfect. Like, I just don't have time to do that. Just my personality, I would spend too much time. It would be too much time. Like, I was waking up. I remember I was waking up like 30 minutes extra for work, minutes early for work, so I get a couple blitz matches in. So at lunchtime, it'd refresh. You know, like my day was getting dictated around playing multiple games. I had to nip that in the bud. I woke up one morning and it just felt ridiculous. I was like, what is this? What am I doing? Just deleted Marvel Strike Force and went back to sleep for 30 minutes. So
God, you know, this game takes up enough time sink as it is. So
I understand, and you know,
yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I mean, like either way, okay, we were covering that game, and we were trying to feel it out to see what we thought about it, and we were covering it for a month, and then we were just suddenly told, like, hey, listen, if you want to be in good graces with the studio, you shouldn't do that, okay, and. You know, again, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, I think that that's wrong. I think that that's 100% wrong. And honestly, every bit of moral fiber inside me said, don't do that. Just keep doing it because, I mean, F them. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? But then I also thought to myself, this studio flies me out to California. They pay for my hotels. They offer me early access to content. I've seen people covering Marvel Strike Force for, you know, a couple months now, and the studio gives them balls. So why am I going to go out of my way to cover a game when I don't even know if that studio is going to treat me as generously as the one I'm currently working with? So, of course, I already had a pre-established relationship with them, and I thought, let me go with what they say, and long-term, at the end of the day, if they help promote me, not that really matters. At the end of the day, I'd rather have that than you know, even if I just go out to party with them periodically, I'd rather have that than a situation where you know, I go against them and I work with another studio and then I get no respect from that studio anyway. I mean, so
it is what it is. I mean, look, the community's got their different appeals. The one thing I've been trying to do with this is, like, you know, whether you agree with Arnold's stuff and everything that's transpired from it, or you don't, is be respectful. And I think there's been some instances where that's not happened, which really pisses me off. Like, you know, you have to respect the other side. You may not like it, but, you know, when someone's got to say something, at least respect the fact that they have something to say. You may think they're wrong. You may see that they're out of their mind. But, you know, don't threaten, that kind of stuff. I've seen some more instances of that, and I just think it's childish. And if you can't express yourself without threatening someone, you know, I think you're just garbage.
I mean, you know, as far as Arnold's concerned, I don't disagree with him. I mean, I think that he is correct. I mean, again, this studio, helped, kind of, get him in with alt accounts. We had to obviously figure out ways to create content without the. If you're building and work, do you know how long it takes to build up an alt account? I mean, even if they give you all the resources, like those accounts that Arnold worked on the back end, that his alt accounts that he uses for YouTube. I had an account like that too, and I didn't even really build it up because, I mean, it had 50 million crystals, right? I could have done whatever I wanted with it, but the time that I would have to put in to build that account up from scratch and level up all the characters and buy all the gear, and then every time a new character comes out, I got to farm all the shards and buy the chromium packs, and I just didn't want to do it. I was like, no, I'm not going to spend all my time building up this alt account. I'll just use my main account. Even if I fall behind a little bit with my main account, I'd still rather put my time into that account. If I'm going to sit there and work on mods and build up an account, it's going to be my real account, not an account that I'm going to. And then thank God, because they took him away. Yeah, he spent a lot of time. He spent his own money. Because we stopped getting resources from them, so he put his own time into those accounts and his own money, and now they just take it away. Be honest with you, I still have my alt account. Okay, nobody knows about it because I changed my name to something very inconspicuous. Okay, but as far as that's concerned,
well, they do now.
Now we're going to have to go find it.
Well, I'll never disclose it. Just one day I'll have content about a character. I'll just make videos with it, and I'll never tell you guys what the name of the account is. So it's but I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna. It doesn't matter because even if they took it away tomorrow, I wouldn't change my life because I'm not gonna put the time in necessary. Maybe I'll be able to get like the new characters that come out, but the rest of my roster is still gonna be weak as hell because I'm not gonna put the time in it takes to work on an account that's probably gonna get taken away from me at some point. And that's what I thought back then too. I was thinking to myself like, what if they decide one day just it's not my account, take it away? I mean, why would I spend all my time on this to get it taken away? And that's what ended up happening, unfortunately.
Well, I think we beat this to death. And we've talked about it enough this week. I'd rather move on, honestly. Said our piece. You guys know how we feel about it. You guys know how you feel about it. So we continue to march on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I just, there's in summation, as far as like Arnold T101 is concerned, if you support him, I would say, continue to do that. The guy is a great guy. He knows what he's doing. He also is not, he's not doing anything malicious. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm sure he probably got himself in trouble for trying to reach out to the studio and doing something that that normally most people would have just gone and done on their own anyway, but he just probably asked for permission and they probably shut it down because he's been working with them for a long time. So anyway, I don't know what happened, but hopefully that all gets rectified at some point, even if it's behind closed doors,
Well, and you guys have to realize a lot of YouTubers, especially bigger ones like Arnold, that they're entertainers, right? They do kind of put on like they kind of go.
It's a personality. People are drawn to that.